2018, Gerry Cotten was the undisputed king of Canadian crypto. A young, charming CEO of QuadrigaCX, the country's largest Bitcoin exchange, he seemed to represent the future of digital finance. At the peak of his power, Cotten was a millionaire many times over, responsible for handling the investments of over 115,000 customers. His personal net worth, tied up in the soaring value of Bitcoin and Ethereum, was estimated to be over $240 million. Then, Gerry vanished. Not in a suspicious murder, not in a high-speed chase, but in a sudden, seemingly tragic death certificate from India. When the dust settled, the biggest shock wasn't his death. It was that his entire fortune, and more importantly, the $240 million belonging to his customers, died with him, locked away, untouchable. The official story claimed only Gerry knew the encryption key to the cold storage wallets. But the question that soon overshadowed the tragedy was simple. Was Gerry Cotten truly dead? Or was this the greatest exit scam in crypto history? The one where the criminal disappeared with the key to his own vault? To truly understand this spectacular mystery, we must first understand the foundation of the Quadriga Empire. Founded in 2013 by Cotten and his partner Michael Patron, the exchange quickly became the most prominent in Canada. It offered a crucial on-ramp for Canadians to turn their local currency into digital assets. But from the beginning, Quadriga operated with an almost reckless level of centralized control. While other major exchanges distributed their assets across numerous secure hardware devices, minimizing the risk of a single point of failure, Gerry Cotten essentially ran the show like a solo side hustle. He handled customer funds and encryption keys personally, often from a single laptop in his home. This unique single-key custody model would eventually prove to be the company's fatal flaw. As the crypto bubble inflated between 2016 and 2017, Quadriga's volume exploded. Suddenly, the company wasn't handling thousands, it was handling hundreds of millions. Cotten, realizing the sheer scope of the liability he held, began to worry. The risks were astronomical. Any hack, any failure, or any personal issue on his end could wipe out the company and its customers. Cotten tried to set up a dead man switch of sorts, a mechanism to ensure keys were released upon his death. But investigators would later find these plans were either vague or never fully implemented. It seemed he was postponing a responsibility only he could handle. And that is why, in December 2018, when Cotten decided to take a trip to India with his wife, Jennifer Robertson, alarm bells should have been ringing across the crypto world. The couple was in Jaipur, India, setting up an orphanage, a final act of philanthropy that many later questioned as an attempt to soften his image. Days later, on December 9, 2018, Jennifer Robertson announced the unthinkable. Gerry Cotten had died at the age of 30 from complications related to Crohn's disease. The global crypto community reacted with panic. This was not just the death of a founder, it was the death of a fortune. Jennifer claimed Cotten was the only person who knew the password to the company's cold storage wallets, the highly secure digital vaults holding the equivalent of $240 million in customer funds. His laptop was immediately found to be encrypted, and no one, not his wife, not the company board, and not even the world's best cryptographers could break the key. Customers were told their money was simply gone. The official story, as tragic as it sounded, was already riddled with holes. Why was the death certificate issued by a private physician in India and not a government hospital? Why was Gerry's body cremated immediately without an independent autopsy, eliminating all evidence of his death? And why did the entire QuadrigaCX management wait over a month to publicly disclose the death of its CEO long after the digital wallets were frozen? The delay allowed Cotten's widow to access and sell off his personal assets without immediate scrutiny. The deeper the public looked, the more the official narrative began to resemble a carefully crafted script. The conspiracy theories exploded. The most damning evidence came from blockchain analysis. While the company insisted the funds were safely locked in cold storage, analysts discovered that those supposedly untouchable Quadriga wallets were empty months before Cotten's death. The money wasn't locked away, it was already gone. The investigation eventually revealed the devastating truth. Cotten wasn't just a CEO, he was a secret trader, and he was terrible at it. He was moving customer funds into his own personal trading accounts, effectively running a Ponzi scheme where new customer deposits were used to cover losses incurred by previous customers. He used the company's crypto reserves as his own personal collateral for massive losing bets on the market. In short, Cotten had lost the customers' money through reckless and fraudulent trading long before he ever stepped on the plane to India. The death certificate, if genuine, simply served as a convenient and irrefutable excuse for the missing funds. The courts eventually seized the remaining assets of the company, but the core mystery remained untouched. The $240 million loss represents one of the largest financial collapses in Canadian history. Customers received pennies on the dollar, and the case was eventually closed with more questions than answers. To this day, there is no independent verification that Gerry Cotten's remains are actually in the ground. The question lingers: is he lying on a beach somewhere, having pulled off the perfect exit scam? Having lost the money, was faking his own death the only way to avoid years of prison? What do you think happened? Was it a massive scam or a genuine tragedy? Let us know in the comments below. If you want more deep dive narratives on the world's greatest mysteries, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We release 2 to 3 new videos every single day. Thank you for unlocking the unsolved vault. See you in the next one.